Welcome back. We're continuing the news. A local pediatrician is calling on parents and guardians to look out for signs and symptoms of multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children. Shamela Pullen tells us more in the health report.
Multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children, MISC, is a post-COVID-19 syndrome. This means the condition happens around 2 to 6 weeks after a child has had COVID-19.
After that 2 to 6 weeks, you have hyperinflammation, meaning a lot of inflammation happening in the blood. And by definition, it occurs with fever lasting for more than 24 hours. You have 2 or more systems of the body involved with this inflammation, and it is not explained by any other condition.
Over the last 18 months, at least 12 cases of MISC cases were seen at the Savlamar Hospital in Westmoreland alone. But the figures could be much higher, which is why medical doctors across the island are now keeping a close watch for children who present with symptoms. Although the condition is rare, the complications are significant, especially among particular groups.
One study that looked at risk factors for MISC in children found that obesity was a significant risk factor. But even in children without obesity, it occurred, and sometimes it's difficult to tell who will get it. Additionally, there are some children who never had any symptoms of COVID, but presented with these features of MISC, and when they checked, they found antibodies to COVID, which means they had COVID in the past.
The mortality rate is between 1 to 2% of the cases diagnosed. Dr. Morris says MISC is treatable.
The treatment will involve supportive care for that child, ensuring that the heartbeat and the blood pressures are okay, the hydration of that child. But there are medications that are needed in some cases, or majority of the cases, sometimes to maintain the blood pressure in a normal range.
Experts predicted that other variants from COVID-19 could emerge in the future. Dr. Morris offered this advice.
Vaccines are being approved for children as low as 5 years of age. And as such, this is something that should be looked at in terms of immunizing these children to prevent COVID in some instances, as well as preventing the severity of COVID.
With our health report, I'm Shamela Pullen, wishing you good health.